Hey gamers, are you looking for a fun zombie shooter game to play with your friends? Well, you've come to the right place, because in this video we're going to check out some of the most exciting zombie co-op games that you can jump into right now. Some of you maybe disagree with my list, and that's okay. All I know, this game is amazing. But before we go into the list, I want to tell you something good for you all gamers. Before we go into the list, I want to tell you about my favorite place to buy games, and that's Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an awesome site for grabbing games at great prices. Not only they always have fantastic discounts, but also they running giveaways you won't want to miss. Seriously, these deals are hard to beat. Where else are you going to find prices this good? Why pay full price when you can grab the same game for way less, right? Yeah, you can shop for games on all kinds of platforms, like PC, PS5, Xbox, and the Nintendo Switch. There are also numerous convenient products to enhance your gaming experience, such as subscriptions, gift cards, and many more. No worries, it's 100% legit, fast, and super easy to use, and their support team is available 24/7. So what are you waiting for? Go check out your favorite games by using the link in the description below and start saving your cash with Instant Gaming. And by using my link, you're not just getting awesome deals, but also supporting this channel. Alright then, let's get back into the list. If you like zombie games packed with action and the freedom to experiment with all kinds of weird weapons, Dead Rising 3 has plenty to do. Besides following the main story, you can also hunt for different collectibles. There are blueprints used to create weapon and vehicle combinations, along with various scenes showing the tragic fate of people around the city. The co-op mode makes all of this more flexible. The entire campaign can be played together with a drop-in and drop-out system, so a friend can jump into the game at any time. What's interesting is that you can split roles based on each player's playstyle. And for those of you who have a girlfriend, maybe think twice before playing this game together with her. Otherwise, she might end up being the burden during the mission. But if your girlfriend is a true gamer, then of course you should bring her along to play. If you're done with Resident Evil Village and are looking for something different from the series, maybe this is the right time to revisit Resident Evil 6. When it first released in 2012, the game sparked quite a bit of debate, but honestly, this game feels much better when played in co-op. Throughout most of the campaign, you're paired with a partner, and when that partner is another player, the experience becomes much more lively. There are many moments where things suddenly turn chaotic, enemies appearing from unexpected directions, vehicles passing by out of nowhere, or quick-time events that show up without warning. Situations like that often end up being pretty funny when you're playing with a friend, of course, if you have one. And now, with PCs being more powerful than they were back when the game first released, it runs more smoothly as well. Split screen on PC is still available too, which is something you rarely see in modern games with campaigns this long. And next, Killing Floor 3 is a co-op shooter that brings back the survival concept of fighting waves of experimental creatures that fans of the series will already recognize. The formula is still the same: survive one wave after another, collect money, then buy weapons and equipment before the next fight begins. If you've played the previous games, the overall rhythm will feel familiar. The game also brings back Z time, a slow motion moment that often appears when the battle gets intense. It makes the situation feel more dramatic, especially when a large group of Zeds rushes in at the same time. Zombie Army 4 Dead War is a third-person shooter that focuses on fighting hordes of zombies with a fun, arcade-style approach. The story takes place 1 year after the events of the previous game. Even though Zombie Hitler has been defeated, the undead army he raised is still roaming across Europe. You play as a member of the Resistance trying to find out why these zombies haven't disappeared and are suddenly starting to show up again. And when you play with friends, the experience feels more lively. You can complement each other through different perks and weapon choices. One thing that stays consistent from start to finish is the feeling of shooting zombies from long distances. The ballistic system from the Sniper Elite series is still used, meaning bullets are affected by wind and gravity, which makes landing those shots feel satisfying when you pull them off. Next, Dead Island 2 is a zombie action game that finally released after a long development journey in 2023. The story takes us to Los Angeles, which has turned into a city filled with zombies. You will choose one of 6 characters called Slayers. Each character has a slightly different background and basic abilities. The thing you'll be doing most of the time is fighting zombies. Melee weapons are the main focus here, ranging from knives, hammers, and swords to various modified tools. Many weapons can also be given effects like electricity, fire, or poison, allowing you to try different combinations when fighting zombies. The game also uses a skill card RPG system that lets you adjust your play style. Some cards give new abilities while others provide certain bonuses during combat, and yeah, this game is definitely more fun if you play it together with your friends. If you've ever played games made by Rebellion developments like Sniper Elite or Zombie Army Trilogy, you probably already have an idea of what their style is like. Strange Brigade takes a similar approach, but with a more relaxed, supernatural adventure theme and plenty of action. This game is a 4-player co-op shooter that takes you through various locations in Egypt while fighting mystical creatures that rise from ancient tombs. Even though the structure stays consistent, the mix of combat, exploration, and puzzles makes each level feel fairly varied. There are also additional modes you can play after the campaign, which are Horde mode and Score Attack, so this can add some replay value if you want to play together with your friends. Well, that is, if you have them. Next, Hunt Showdown 1896 might be something you've heard of before. This version is a major revision of Hunt Showdown, which was originally released in 2019. The core idea is still the same, a mix of PvPvE where players hunt monsters and zombies while also dealing with other players who have the same objective. In each match, you play as a hunter entering a map filled with zombies to search for clues that reveal the boss location. Once you've gathered enough clues, the location of the large monster will be revealed. Your next task is to defeat it, complete the banish process, then take the bounty token before escaping the map through an extraction point. There are rewards for collecting the bounty, but the amount of money you get isn't always very large. Because of that, some players choose to wait until other teams fight each other first, then move in at the end to take the bounty from whoever is left. Back 4 Blood is a co-op zombie game that is basically the same as Left 4 Dead. Yep, the core idea is still the same. Teamwork, fighting through hordes of zombies and trying to survive until the end of each mission. In this game, the zombies are called Ridden, and you play as a group known as the Cleaners. Each mission has 4 players moving from one area to another while dealing with waves of enemies that keep coming. The number of enemies can get pretty large. Sometimes the situation can change quickly because of a system called the Game Director. This system dynamically adjusts the game's conditions, like adding fog, spawning special enemies, or changing the flow of the battle. One interesting addition is the card system. As you play, you can unlock cards that give different bonuses, such as extra damage, stamina, or special abilities. With these cards, players can adjust their playstyle to fit how they want to approach the game. World War Z Aftermath is an expanded version of the 2019 zombie shooter based on the universe of the World War Z. The Aftermath update adds new story locations, additional character classes, melee combat improvements, and a next-generation console upgrade. The campaign is organized into 7 episodes, each taking place in a different city around the world. Every episode features a group of characters completing a series of missions during the zombie outbreak. The intensity of thousands of zombies rushing toward you captures the chaotic feeling seen in the World War Z. Defending positions with traps, turrets, and coordinated teamwork can be satisfying. Large-scale zombie attacks look impressive, especially in the new Horde mode XL, where more than 1,000 zombies can appear on screen at once. While the game clearly takes inspiration from Left 4 Dead, it emphasizes extremely large zombie hordes as its main attraction. Once Human is a free-to-play, open-world zombie survival game that combines crafting, exploration, and combat against strange creatures from outer space. And of course, there are zombies too. At first glance, the concept might sound like a mix of many genres we've already seen before, and when it comes to co-op, the game is pretty fun to play together with friends. Interestingly, not all of the strange creatures in this game are enemies. There are also ones called deviations, which are creatures you can capture and use to help the player. Their functions vary. Some can be brought into battle, while others help with tasks around your base. And since this is a survival-based game, you also need to gather materials to craft ammunition and weapons to fight zombies and aliens. Besides Once Human, there's also a co-op zombie survival game called State of Decay 2. Many games in this genre can become repetitive after a while because the activities tend to follow the same loop over and over. State of Decay 2 tries to give players a clearer direction through its story elements and community management system, which play a noticeable role throughout the experience. Your first main objective is to find and establish a base to use as a shelter. From there, you'll start exploring the town, searching houses, restaurants, stores, and other buildings to gather supplies. Another interesting part of State of Decay 2 is how character skills improve based on what you do frequently. Running increases your stamina, fighting zombies improves your physical abilities, and landing headshots raises your firearm skills. Later on, these abilities can be specialized with additional bonuses. Next, we have Warhammer 40k Darktide is a co-op horde shooter similar to Left 4 Dead, but set in the grim dark world of Warhammer 40k. The main focus is still the same: teamwork, fighting against massive waves of enemies, and surviving from one mission to the next. One of the fun parts of the game is that every player can create their own character by choosing a class and background. Each class has its own role. Some are more focused on firearms, some are stronger in close combat, and others use psychic abilities to attack from a distance. This combination makes team composition more interesting since each player can cover the weaknesses of others, and so if you enjoy co-op shooter zombie games that require good team coordination, this game is definitely worth trying. Next, we have Dying Light, and this game can easily be a top choice. It combines open-world exploration, survival, and RPG elements, with a strong focus on parkour movement and fighting zombies. Besides playing solo, the game also supports co-op for up to 4 players, which makes the adventure feel more lively with friends. If you play in co-op, the story progress follows the player who is hosting the game. So if you join your friend's session, the missions you complete will count toward their story progress. The system is simple, and if someone is struggling with a mission, you can always jump into each other's game to help out. To keep things from feeling repetitive, the game also includes small challenges that appear randomly. These challenges can vary, like who can kill the most zombies, race to a waypoint, or collect the most loot. Moments like these can be a fun distraction while traveling across the map to the next objective. DayZ is one of the more unique zombie games in the genre. The game is set in a fictional former Soviet region that has been devastated by a zombie outbreak. There's no single-player campaign or main objective guiding you. When you enter the game world, you only have one simple goal: survive. When you spawn, you barely have anything with you. From there, you have to search for food, water, weapons, and clothing on your own. Even simple things like drinking dirty water or eating raw meat can make your character sick. Because of that, players need to pay attention to conditions like hunger, thirst, body temperature, and health. Combat in this game can feel tense. Bullets aren't easy to find, and gunshots can attract other players or zombies nearby. Because of that, many situations require players to think carefully before taking action. The moments players often remember most come from interactions with others. Sometimes you meet players who help you, and sometimes you meet ones who attack immediately. Every encounter can turn out differently. For those of you who enjoy co-op zombie shooting games, you've probably already tried Left 4 Dead 2. Released in 2009, the game became quite popular among PC gamers because of its strong replayability. In the game, you play as one of 4 characters trying to survive a zombie outbreak while traveling from Savannah to New Orleans in the United States. Left 4 Dead 2 also has a lot of content. There are a total of 13 campaigns, including the campaigns from the first game that were added into this version. There's also an expert mode where zombies deal much higher damage and items are harder to find. Yup, if you want more of a challenge, there's also a realism mode that removes some visual assistance like the survivor silhouette feature. Besides that, there's a versus mode where you can take turns playing as survivors or special infected to fight against another team. With mod support and community-made maps as well, Left 4 Dead 2 is still played by many people even today. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies brings back the survival mode where players fight against waves of zombies, a mode that has long been a favorite for many players. This time there are 2 main maps, Terminus and Liberty Falls, each offering different ways to open new areas and explore the map. One noticeable change is the Omni movement system, which allows players to run, slide, and dive in multiple directions. Movement feels more flexible, especially when trying to escape from zombie hordes in higher rounds. As usual, you will collect essence from defeated zombies to open new areas, buy weapons, or upgrade your guns at the Pack-a-Punch machine. Various perks from soda machines can also be purchased to help you survive longer, so if you enjoy playing co-op while fighting endless zombie hordes, this game is definitely worth playing with friends. And that's it for today. Those were lists of 15 of the most fun co-op zombie games that you can play right now. Got a hidden gem I didn't mention? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video or discovered a new title to add to your collection, feel free to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you'll never miss future content. Once again, if you want to buy games with cheap price, the link in the description okay. So, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.